Good morning, and welcome to day 2 of this on-demand series. Today we're going to look at the tools of BALM Family Recovery Life Coaching and at the structured family curriculum. Of course, we're going to look at 2 tools, and there are hundreds of them, but you can start with these. Tools are very important. When you have them, it really increases the effectiveness of your coaching because your client is hands-on involved in the process of looking at what's going on in their life. But it's also very important to know how to use those tools. And I'm Bev Buncher, the founder of the BALM program. I've spent the last 12 years as a life coach working with families, and the last 10 as the author of the BALM programs, and the last 7 running the BALM Training Institute for family recovery services and life coach training. This Clear Unclear tool is a classic. When you use this, it really helps you to help your client see what's going on in their life so that they can truly distinguish between fact and fiction. But it's not as easy as it looks. You have the client write the situation they're facing, and then they put clear and unclear at the top of the page. This gives them clarity and a path forward. So the process is you ask them what problem they'd like to solve, write the challenge at the top, clear and unclear, and then you ask them to tell you everything they know for sure about the situation and write it in column 1, and everything they're not so sure of in column 2. Here are some caveats. If you don't know these, it won't be as effective. Now, things for sure that they know for sure, that means beyond the shadow of a doubt. It's a fact. They understand it. They know it. There's no doubt. If they tell you they think something, these are the keywords. I think, I feel. Ask them, are you sure about that? Do you know it beyond the shadow? And if they can't say they do, put it in the unclear chart. It's really important to dig deep into the difference between these two, because only facts and certainty will give a clear picture of what's going on. Feelings and thoughts can help point the way, but without clarity on what is actually going on, it's hard to move forward. So after you do it with your client, you review the list to make sure that the items in the clear columns are absolutes. And once that's done, you ask the person to read the clear column, and you just sit as they do so that it can really sink in. And then you ask, is there anything you want to add? What do you know now? A lot of times, this is where the shift will take place, because all of a sudden they realize there's a lot they know. There are a lot of facts here pointing in a direction. Then they go to the unclear. Sometimes that unclear is really asking the question that they had to figure out through doing this chart, and it's become clear in the clear chart. If it hasn't, in the clear side, if it hasn't, there's more research to be done, more documenting, more information needed. If you'd like to see a demo, you can go to tinyurl.com/clearunclear1. And I did a demo of this technique that you can look at. Another tool is my business, his or her business, and God's business. So people who have problems with the God word use the universe, use wisdom. But the idea is that there are certain things we can take care of and are responsible for, certain things our loved one is responsible for, and certain things that are beyond human control. You make the chart like this, again with the challenge at the top and the 3 columns. And afterwards, it's a similar situation, a similar process to clear unclear. You ask the client to complete the list. After they're done, you start to ask them questions to help them see if their answers are in the correct column. And you sit quietly while they sort that out. The questions that you ask will help them figure out if they've got it right. And of course, this is what coaches do. We ask deep questions that are relevant to a situation. And if you don't know how to do this yet, you will when you finish this program. Not today's program, the coach training. This is what we do. We teach people how to move from well-meaning to skilled, competent coaches who can guide people through a process. So then you ask, is there anything you want to add? What do you want to know now? And again, a shift can take place. But here's the caveat of the whole thing. You as the coach really need to know what is the family member's business? What is the loved one's business? And what is beyond control? Might seem simple, but there are different perspectives on this. It's the BALM perspective that really helps the family to shift out of this sense of total responsibility, but still be there in a loving way. And, the curriculum that we offer the families teaches them this. And so it leverages your power and energy as a coach. Because without a curriculum, tools can only go so far. Having a structured family recovery curriculum is critical. It backs up everything you do with a family member. It does the heavy lifting. A curriculum can do in a week what might take you 1 to 3 months or more to do in coaching. And it can do in a year what could take you years to accomplish. So putting your coaching and a powerful family curriculum together can have a huge impact. And of course, it clears up the subtle differences between recovery-oriented behaviors and those that aren't. And when your curriculum includes evidence-based practices, which ours does, you're giving your families tools, activities, concepts, and steps with the power to make a difference in their lives and that of their loved one. So what are the key components of a structured curriculum? In our mind here at BALM, we use a loving approach with connection, leverage, boundaries, all on the foundation of love and peace. And we use the structure of information, transformation, and support. Information is all the research and ideas and concepts that we teach families about family recovery, about addiction, about what their loved one's going through. Expertise from people in the field and from coaches working with families every day. People in long-term recovery share their experience, as do families in long-term recovery, in the information piece. And then there's transformation, a step-by-step process so they can gain an interchange that will allow them to use their new skills powerfully with their loved one. And finally, support. Without support, the information transformation pieces may lay fallow. In our case, we offer coaching and group coaching and journaling and meditation, all to support your families on their recovery path. So we have keys to a powerful curriculum. We're known as a program with a solution-oriented, structured curriculum that covers the family's role, how change happens, how families can let go of obsessing without giving up on their loved one or giving in to the manipulation. We teach families how to be their loved one's best chance at recovery. We provide them with a transformation component through the 7 steps to be a loving mirror. And we help them understand the role of self-care, love, boundaries, support, and knowing how and when to access each. We teach them we invite them to have a powerful relationship with that which is spiritual. We encourage them greatly to have the same with spirit, self, and others. And we help them to walk the loving path, be a loving mirror. The missing link to so many treatment centers and recovery programs and recovery coaching programs is really an actual family recovery curriculum that is powerful. We offer this and a coaching curriculum to go with it that will make you stand above the rest in your practice. So one of our coaches is Lisa McDonald. She's been partnering with a treatment center called Tranquility Woods in Maryland. And recently I met with her and the addictions director, Luke DuBois, on a BALM coach interview to talk about their collaboration. Collaborating is something that BALM coaches do very well, and you're well prepared to do it. This is a piece of the interview to help you understand how our coaches use the BALM curriculum with families they coach and how their partner treatment centers see the value of the coach and the BALM at their treatment center. This tape is about 5 minutes long, and it's worth it so you can hear the coach and the treatment center's perspective. See if you can find yourself in this. Could you be doing this with the treatment center? Or if you're a treatment center, would it be helpful to you to train a BALM coach to work with your families or to utilize one of the BALM coaches already trained? So Lisa, how do you use the BALM in working with a family?
Well, I shared a little bit in the previous segment that I put all of my families in the BALM. And the reason for that is that I just find it to be such an asset. So when I get a family as a new client, I immediately get them on track with listening to principles 1 through 4. And usually by then they've worked out all the kinks, they've figured out how to get onto some live calls, and the way that I utilize the BALM with my coaching is this. So if a client comes to me and they're bringing the coaching topic of the treatment center is recommending that my loved one go to sober living, but I don't think they're going to go. They don't really want to go. They're not going to do that. So then I have all of these resources at my disposal throughout the 12 principles, as well as the 7 steps in terms of creating a BALM conversation, to be able to direct this family to specific recordings that address whatever that issue, the underlying issue is, right? Getting deep into what is the struggle here. Is it enabling? Is it fear? Is it control? Is it, that they're not in the, is it a stages of change issue? What is the issue with this family, and what tools can I give them? And then what recordings can reiterate those tools for me? And so I almost always give my families assignments of, go listen to this recording, please go listen to that principle, choose any interview from principle 5, whatever it might be. And that's how I teach, quote unquote, my clients to have the BALM as their go-to if they choose not to renew at the end of that 12 weeks. Because if I haven't given them any of that, and at the end of 12 weeks, they don't renew their coaching contract with me, and they haven't engaged in the BALM, what have I really done for them? How have I really helped them? It's a Band-Aid.
And at 5, my perspective on that, that's why I've always said that I feel like the BALM is an action program, because when I collaborate with Lisa and the family members, I see that in the family sessions. It creates insight, but it also creates healthy communication for the family members to identify where they're at. And that way I can really facilitate, as a family therapist, a healthy communication to go what they're doing now and next steps. So that's been huge for us.
That's for sure. Beautiful. It's exactly how we want it to work. It's wonderful to hear that you are implementing in this way and that it's being useful for you. So Luke, what makes you decide that a family is one you want to refer to the BALM?
Like I said, everyone could be a good fit. But if family members are voicing their challenges, right? And I keep saying recovery is another term for healthy. So if I hear unhealthy communication, unhealthy boundaries, them not focusing on the family members, their own recovery, similar patterns, just like a client with, you say this is a disease of addiction, a family disease. Well, if I'm seeing those characteristics and behaviors in the family, and they're really in it, and if they're feeling the pain and suffering that the clients did that got them to go to Tranquility Woods, well, maybe they're ready to really work on those things. And even though they don't see it quite yet, that's when I can bring Lisa in. And if they're open enough to at least talking to Lisa and the BALM, that's a good first action. I don't know what to do. Well, it's their recovery. They're losing sleep. They're calling the family's calling the client, the therapist all the time, and the admissions line all the time, and they're not at peace, even though they don't have that ease and comfort, at least momentarily, even while they're here. That they're very fearful of relapse and or death. They're a really good candidate. So.
Yeah, we're going to cover all those things in the BALM, and with a coach, it's a very powerful opportunity for a family.
One other thing to add to that, we do have family members that often say, they go to a support group or like Al-Anon or Nar-Anon, and whether it's 1 time or 5 times, and they felt like they just couldn't really connect or get what they felt they needed. What BALM does is more that one-on-one or the videos that you guys offer to really tangibly see, well, this is helping me in a way that sometimes a support group like a 12-step program doesn't right away, unless
right.
that's big too.
Right, and 8 or 9 live sessions a week as well available. Are you still wondering if being a BALM coach would be right for you? In the remaining 2 segments, we will look at the difference between just becoming a life coach and our unique brand of BALM Family Recovery Coaching. And in session 4, you'll get an overview of the entire coach training program that will turn you into a powerful BALM coach and a master of the Be a Loving Mirror program. If you're wondering how to become one of these highly trained coaches, here's where you'll find out. And you'll also discover how to access the special offers we will share only during the 5-day period following this on-demand program. Thank you so much for attending today. This is Beverly Buncher from the BALM Training Institute for Family Recovery Services and BALM Family Recovery Life Coach Training. If you're ready now, you can call us and we'll get you started. But if you need more time, take it and let's talk on Thursday or Friday and get you signed up. Bye.